we actually find ourselves in the midst of a very deadly pandemic which threatens the very existence of society and, more importantly, threatens the existence and the strides that women in sport and women have made in general. Over and above that, we find ourselves in a space where gender-based violence in our country has escalated to extreme high numbers. And I mean, as women, we have marched, we have cried, we have pleaded, we have begged, we have done it all. And we actually don't know what to do anymore to actually stop gender-based violence. And within the pandemic and the gender-based violence that we experience, we also find ourselves in the midst of one of the biggest movements in the world, which is the Black Lives Matter movement. We've seen South African athletes, men and women, come forward and talk about their emotional journeys and what Black Lives Matter means to them. And we have a shared responsibility to ensure that we end gender-based violence as a society. We have a shared responsibility to ensure that athletes are not discriminated against, whether it's by their race, their gender, or their sexuality. Recognition platforms either do two things for you. They either make you feel appreciated and recognized and finally saying somebody has recognized what I've done, or they push you to do more and to work harder. Either way, our awards do not have any preference. What we want at the end of the day is to ensure that women in sport are honored, to ensure that young girls who want to stay in sport and who want to achieve their dreams in sport have heroes to look up to, and people that they could sit and say, I want to be like that, or I want to learn from that person. And that's the whole idea of having our awards. Having said that, you know, Ekurhuleni Women in Sports Awards would be turning 3 this year, and it gives me extreme pleasure to actually now add the City of Johannesburg and the West Rand District, as they're very eager to also start honoring and appreciating and celebrating women in sport within their region. I would like to personally thank the presidents of those regions for their commitment and their dedication in wanting to ensure that women fulfill their space within society and within sport. Our nominations will open on the 1st of August and close on the 28th of August. Nomination forms will be available on our social media pages, our website, as well as a dedicated WhatsApp line that we would have to ensure that we reach as many people as possible and as many women as possible are honored and recognized for their efforts. Please be on the lookout on our social media pages for the promos that we'll be running for the awards, as well as the award dates for the 3 different districts. And we would really like to have as much interaction as possible. And our awards would be virtual and live, and we'd like to put out something really special to ensure that the women who are finalists within our awards feel very special, and it's something that they would remember forever. I would like to end this with this Michelle Obama quote. The difference between a broken community and a thriving one is the presence of women who are valued.
Manira, thank you for the question. The question was regard to our involvement in the last 3 years as Ekurhuleni in the sports awards, Women's Sports Awards, and what it meant for us is simple. In our region, we have a lot of people, especially women, involved in sport. And with the start of this program and this project that we're running, Women in Sport, where we give people acknowledgement for what they've done, it meant a lot. Specifically for our women, through this Women in Sports Awards, I think it has wakened up the perception that people had that there's no place for women in sport. And through these awards, we've given people in our region the opportunity to be seen and to be heard. The fact that we acknowledge what they have done has encouraged the rest of the region and women specifically to come forward and to be more involved. And as a region, we have encouraged it. We have spoken to our federation and says, you know, you guys have seen what has happened. There are women with potential. We just need to create an opportunity for them to take leadership roles in our region.
Thank you, Manira. For the City of Johannesburg, this means a lot to partner up with Futballing Girls with these awards. Now, I think we've seen over the past years that women in sport had a very little role to play within the sporting community. And with Joburg, we want to change that perception. We want to change that scenario. And we've also seen that at school level, that there are a lot of girls now participating in sport through our programs that we have going out and reaching out to these girls. So for us, it will change a lot, bringing as part of development to see women grow in sport, to address the inequalities in sport, and also to see the advancement of women in sport. And that is our goal too, and also our vision going forward from here on in.
Yeah, look, firstly, we'd like to thank the footballing girls for giving us this opportunity. Initially, we were supposed to do our own program, but we looked at the work that footballing girls have put in, and we said there's no need to recreate the wheel. So we decided to partner up with them. And in terms of what this will do for the woman, we'd like our women to get out of this program. Where do they spend most of their time? Do they spend it, loafing around, or on the field, or on the sports field? And it is my intention, it is the intention of us as West Rand Sports Confederation to try and get women to spend more time in either the pools or on the fields, so that they can become more tougher, and they can, and they can build the goals for the future, basically. So we actually want a woman to treat sport as a career, so that they can develop themselves and build their capacities, and in terms of social cohesion, in terms of development, and as the previous speakers have spoken, that's where we'd like to see our women in sport. We'd like to get more of them coming out into the playing fields in order to achieve the best out of themselves. Thank you.
My advice to my colleagues and presidents of West Rand and Johannesburg is to allow your women in your committees and in your substructures to take the lead in certain of the projects that we're running in the different regions. If I can just tell you the excitement and the awareness of what happened in Ekurhuleni since we started with this awards 3 years ago. The vibe, the energy of what is happening with women in sport in my region is unbelievable. And it only happened because we as men has allowed women to take the leading roles in some of the structures and some of the projects that we are running. As a matter of fact, I have seen for the first time in my region that there are strong women who can lead. And as much as I'm a man, I must admit, some of these ladies are doing better than men with some of the tasks that was given to them.
Yes, I think this is a big eye-opener for us. This is our first awards, virtual awards that we're involved in. And already, as we have seen on the posts that have been posted, on Facebook and so on, the interest have been generated. People are asking questions. And for us, this is something that we want to grow. And we want to see women come to the fore and participate in all codes of sport. We've seen this happening at chess now, where there's a big interest for women in sport in the code, especially at school level. And we want to see that with every other code happening. And these awards are not just to grow, but to acknowledge and to take this further, and to see women coming to the forefront, like my colleague has said, and take responsibility and take those big roles up and develop.
Yeah, I think women should be given a fair chance in terms of leading. We don't want to see men who are dominating, and we don't want to see women just being secretaries or treasurers. We want to see them taking up bigger posts, becoming more responsible, and trying to lead men. Because obviously, from past experience, we know that women, they are basically the leaders of households, and based on that leadership skills, they have always managed to basically dominate and make sure there's peace. So, if you relate this to political agendas that we face with currently in sports, I'm sure that we can understand that women will make good leaders.
Absolutely. Thank you. My final thought for the region of Ekurhuleni is, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached a stage where women has made their voices heard. Let us allow women to take leadership, and let's support our women in sport in making a success. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, I think in closing, I would like to say that we want to see the same happening for Johannesburg, and Johannesburg being the hub of producing champions, it is the home of champions, and we want to see more women coming to the front, taking those leading roles, coming out as champions, you know, and we want to see all those inequalities addressed, where we can see women on par with the male sporting personalities. Thank you.
In terms of our Western region, we would like to see more women coming out in the playing fields, more women being pushed and driven towards spending more time in the pools, in indoor stadiums. And what we would like to see is that women build themselves sporting careers and become the architects of their own future. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Buyiswa Xulu, MMC responsible for sports in West Rand District Municipality. The West Rand is pleased to partner with Futballing Girls on their initiative of Women in Sports Awards, which will also see West Rand host the inaugural West Rand Women in Sports Awards in September 2020. Women participation in sport is important as they are the epitome of wealth and power. Women in sports have enormous power to generate real social, economic, and environmental change. They contribute to sustainable development, social cohesion, and even to challenge mindsets and prejudice. Sports has a potential to empower women and girls. It is a known fact that sport has huge potential in our country to intensify women's voices and break down gender barriers and discrimination. Women in sports can help break down gender stereotypes, improve girls and women's confidence, and they can learn important life skills such as teamwork, leadership, and confidence. It is a sad truth that women and girls continue to face discrimination, inequality in professional sports, media coverage, and sponsorships. We need to confront and defeat this culture. In the same breath, we take cognizance that women are far more visible in sports today than at any previous point in history. Whilst women continue to make inroads in the field of sports, it is our duty as the West Rand District to incentivize and promote them in every possible way. It is crucial that our local media play an integral part in the promotion of West Rand women in sports. West Rand District Municipality, together with West Rand Sports Confederation, would like to see the Women in Sports Awards platform to showcase and celebrate our top women in sports. The COVID-19 lockdown period has allowed us to think outside the box and proceed with the West Rand Awards in a visual format so that we can offset this event as our first official event that recognizes our women in the West Rand. An event of this nature will certainly create a platform to build leadership skills among our women, creating awareness and also grow the participation number of women in sports. It will also aim to foster self-confidence, support positive and healthy decisions, and also help our women to realize their hopes and dreams. Sports awards in this format during COVID-19 crisis is an area in which we can leverage our partnerships and engage with different audiences to teach everyone that anywhere in our lives, a future can be achieved where all playing fields are truly level, and that nothing is impossible until it is done. And those were the words of our great Madiba. If we wish to see a region or a district that develops economically on global front, then it's very important to have women empowerment. The future of a girl child rests in our communities and the manner in which we raise them from day to day. How we treat and deliver programs similar to these awards on women in sports lead to capacity building, which strengthens their skills and abilities to perform at the highest level. This is indeed a historical moment in the Western sports calendar. For all our women who have achieved beyond their goals, you are all beautiful people, highly poised to receive your awards for which you have certainly worked very hard. As the MMC of the West Rand, I wish you all the very best on this auspicious event and hope that as our female representatives and achievers in the sports of our local districts take the baton, run with it, and encourage all our women far and wide to become the architects of our future. In conclusion, I wish that women from West Rand understand that their achievement and hard work is celebrated and that they have earned their rightful place among the champions. It is also my wish that you create a base for other women out there, for our youth to emulate. And because of you, our young girls will have confidence that they too can do it. On behalf of the West Rand, I thank you all.
Community development, which has a department called sports and sports in it, has decided to partner with you guys in order for us to be able to put out our women out there. You know, women are not always recognized, especially in sports. The only time we really heard about women in sport is when we had the lady that ran barefoot. And she made it within the sports, right? And after that, it was very quiet. And as Comdef, we decided to partner so that we could also show that women are able to do what men do, and they are also able to achieve within sports. That is our reason why we, as community development, has partnered with women in sports. I've always said that when I leave the city, I would love to leave a legacy. And one of my legacies that I would love to leave is to have a Chad Leclos coming out of the city of Johannesburg. I would also love to see a tennis player or a rugby player, but in the form of a woman, coming out in the city of Johannesburg, because we do have that type of people within the city. And maybe the city should become an epicenter of sports, where we create legends in our sports. The awards should actually be carrying a message that says the city is the champion of women in sports. The city is the champion of all sports in the city, but not only in the city. We should be the champion of sports in the country. and later on become the champions of sports in the continent.
Any last message, last words you'd like to leave?
I'd like to say to all athletes and all sports people, keep safe, social distancing, wash your hands, keep on your masks, stay at home if you're not essential services, whether it's level 5 or level 1, because we don't know when this invisible enemy is going to leave us. We've seen some countries that it has come back, and we wouldn't want it to come back to South Africa because we've lost a lot. But I also want to say that I love the way our president has treated it. Rather save lives than saving an economy, because what are you going to do with an economy when there are no lives? So South Africans and residents of the city of Johannesburg, stay safe, social distance, wash your hands, hlapa matsogo, and stay away if you're not needed outside.
Good day, my name is Marissa Rose. I work for the Gauteng Department of Sport, Arts, Culture and Recreation. I am the Director for Sport Development and Coordination in the province. This deals with club development, the development of sporting communities, as well as the high performance program in the province. We are really inspired to see how the Women in Sport Awards has grown in the province. From 2 years ago, it started with one region, and this year we have 3 regions who are part and parcel of these awards. This just shows that our sport organizations, confederations, councils are now honoring and ensuring that the women who contribute to sport in our communities, in our regions, in the province, are being honored. Let us ensure that we continuously develop and capacitate our women, whether they be in a leadership position, a management position, a coach, a technical official, or even just a volunteer, so that they can continue to uplift girls in our community and girls' sport in general. We truly need women role models that our young girls can look up to in our communities. So for us, this just shows that there's definitely an increase in women who are contributing to sport and recreation in our communities. As we face COVID-19, I urge you to please continue checking on the protocols, adhering to these protocols, and please stay safe. It is imperative that you nominate the women in your communities for these awards. If you do not nominate your leaders, your managers, your coaches, your technical officials, your volunteers, we cannot honor them. So please take the time to fill in the form and to send your nominations through, so that we can begin to honor all the women in our communities. And as we honor these women, let us not forget those women who are in abusive relationships, those women who are not supported by their family and friends because of the decisions they've made in their lives. Let us support them and provide that support and pray for them. From my side, everything of the best for all those who are going to be nominated. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Barry Hendricks. I'm the president of the Gauteng Sports Confederation. I'd like to use this opportunity to congratulate Munira and her team on putting together the Women in Sport program across the regions in Gauteng. The role and the importance of these programs is to identify and recognize the fantastic women and brave women who have contributed to sport throughout the year. We would like to thank these women, and we'd like to praise them for the time and effort that they've put in to make sure that sport benefits and that the community benefits from the work that they are doing. We wish Munira well, And we hope that this program can be elevated so that it occurs in every region in Gauteng, and that eventually will culminate in the Gauteng Women in Sport Awards.
I'm the MEC for Sport, Arts, Culture and Recreation in Gauteng, and today we are launching the Women in Sports Awards. This is quite great, and I must say that the organizers and the individuals that have been able to come up with this great idea really should be thanked. As you know, that part of the work that has characterized our term of office was to make sure that we increase the participation of women in sport. And this is why that some of the projects that we have taken up is that of giving away sports bras, because we know that a lot of women don't want to be engaged in sport because of their own bodies and how uncomfortable it is for them to be able to participate. So by giving them something as small but as valuable as a sports bra, we're able to make sure that they find comfort in their own body and can be able to take place and be able to take part within the various sports that are there. So these awards are really great in that regard because they work in line with what we want to do, and that is to increase the participation of women. One of the things that research shows us is that we lose a lot of young girls in sport as they reach puberty, and this is because of the bodily changes they have to go through. So in making sure that we keep as many young women and women in general within sport, it is great to have platforms of this nature and awards of this nature to make sure that we get as many people as possible participating within sport. So the work that you're doing in celebrating women in these awards is truly a magnificent thing that you have. And what we know is that the Women Awards are taking place within 3 regions, that is the West Rand, Ekurhuleni and Johannesburg. We would like to see them in Sedibeng and Tshwane so that we can be able to cover all the regions in our province. And we must be able to magnify this and make sure that we get as many women as possible throughout the whole province. And so, as you launch today, we really do want to congratulate you on this great work that you are doing, and are saying we are here for you as the department to work with you, to hold your hand and make sure that we take you to the next level. So to all the women that are doing exceptionally well, please keep going. You are the ones who we look up to. You are the ones who will inspire the next generation of sportswomen in the field. Thank you.